very quickly. These projects follow actually. Now there are various methodologies existing in the industry where these IT guys they follow these methodologies. Okay, the project the methodology is associated with a given project. Now the oldest methodology, are you aware of that?
In IT field, no.
Okay, it's called as Waterfall methodology. Okay, Waterfall methodology. Yeah. Do you live somewhere close to main road or something?
Yes, not main road, but yeah, you can hear the traffic voice.
Okay, so I hear a lot of vehicles moving around.
Yes.
Okay, I'm trying to pull a document for you. Okay, while it keeps searching for it, let me do this. Okay, the oldest methodology which came into the industry is called as Waterfall methodology. Waterfall methodology. Okay. Now this Waterfall methodology is also known as the traditional methodology. Then it follows a linear sequential order. So there are so many names to it. So what happens in this Waterfall methodology is you have various phases in the project, right? It starts from initiating, and then it goes through the requirement phase, then it goes to the analysis, then it goes to the design, and then the development starts, and then your testing starts, right? So these are the various phases which we were talking yesterday. Now, if a project follows the Waterfall methodology, okay, then they say that this Waterfall methodology follows something called a linear sequential order. What does that mean? That means once the requirements are done, the output will go to input as an input for the next phase.
Yes.
The output for this phase will go as input for this phase. Okay, so what it says is it goes in a order. It has to finish. Then it goes to the next. Then it goes to the next phase. Then it goes to, so it's like, so what are the advantages you see in this? Do you see an advantage? You understood the concept, right?
Yes, I understand it. Advantage is you have to finish the perfect order to require the next step, to start the next step. So it's not like, okay, you can skip any step in this one. So that should be an advantage.
Okay, so that's it goes in an order. It's a linear sequential order. So apart from that, can you guess anything else? Anything else you can see? Okay, now, okay, so here it is going through, it finishes requirement, it goes to the analysis. Now it finishes analysis, it goes to the required design. So like this, right? So now the analysis guys already know what to expect. Am I right? They know, okay, these are the things which are going to come. So these are the things, everything is defined.
Okay.
Okay, so these guys already know what to expect out of the whole thing. Okay, so, and they wait till the previous, activities completed. Till then, they have no other activity. They only have to keep thinking about it. They can't, they don't have to work. Now what happens here is, it goes in an order. It goes from top, then like that, like that, like that. That's what it means, okay? Linear sequential order. That's one advantage, right? So the next people already know. They can plan properly. Now the planning becomes easy for them, and then to set things right becomes very easy for them. Okay? So that's the whole idea behind. But what are the disadvantages? The disadvantage, most important disadvantage here is, see, suppose that we already said that in a project requirements can come in, right? Requirements are inevitable. A lot of requirements can come in. Now suppose the project is already in the development stage. Now the company says that the client community says that we did some policy changes, and this has to be implemented in the system. It has to come. Okay. So then now what? Right? Now what will they do? How will, when a project is following a waterfall methodology, you know what they will do? They'll stop the project at development state. Start from the set of requirements which are coming into the project. They work on that. Then it goes to the analysis phase. Then it will go to the design phase. Then the development phase will add. So it's like, 90% done and 90% not done, right? I mean, you're already 90% work has been completed. The development team has already started working on it. And now you say that, okay, no, stop. There some more requirements are coming. So those guys, the requirement analysis design guys have to work on it, and then has to be given to the development team. So there's this is wrong. I mean, this is time taking, right?
Yes.
So those are all the risk factors which the waterfall methodology comes in. Okay. So these are the advantages and disadvantages in a waterfall methodology. Okay. And the new changes are coming in, because changes can come into a project. Now when the new changes are coming in, to to adopt the new changes, it is very difficult in a waterfall methodology. It just can be time taking. It follows a methodology, okay, like that. Now, looking at the disadvantages of this particular methodology, they came up with a new methodology, obviously, right? Different methodologies here. So now what is the new methodology? Next methodology, which is called as, this is first one, so I would say this, the second one is Rapid Application Development, RAD. In the Rapid Application Development, what they said is, okay, you start working on requirements. After initiating, it goes through requirements, right? So there are, suppose there are 100 requirements. Just an example, okay? 100 requirements are there. Now requirement analysis has to be done, right? So the requirement analysis is, suppose 50 of the requirements have completed the analysis. Okay, so you know what they will do? While they are working on this 50, the rest of the 50 they give it to the development team. So now what? The development team is working on 50. Sorry, the design team, I'm so sorry, the design team. So now you see, the requirement analysis and design team, all three of them are working.
Yes.
Okay, so now the design team says that, yes, I think I can finalize at least 40% of my 50 requirements, they are stabilized. Then you know what they'll do? They'll share it with the development team. So the development team guys can start their work.
Okay.
So now here, after the requirement analysis, 50% is 50 requirements are done, right? So those 50 requirements, now here it is how much? Here it is 40.
40.
Now here it is 10 and this 50 comes, right? The new 50 adds up. So here it is 60. Now they can add, now this 40 requirements, development team is working. Now after some time, they transfer this 40 plus 60. So 100 requirements they are working on. A development team is working on all the 100 requirements. Okay. Now, while the development team is working on 100 requirements, see, a project will have generally, what happens is a project will have multiple modules, am I right? Module 1, module 2, module 3. So the development team, say for example, they finish working on module 1. They give this module 1 for testing. They release it. If they are done with module 2, the second one, then they'll release it to the testing. Module 3 is done, then release it to the testing. The testing team, what they'll do? Module testing. They'll do module testing. Module by module, they will test it. And finally, they'll integrate all the modules and do a system testing.
Okay.
So now you see that even if there are any new changes which are coming into the project, that can be easily accommodated. Do you agree?
Yes.
Because everybody is still working on the requirement. So it is easy for us to implement the changes and work with the new. That's an advantage in this. And any other advantage you see?
It's taking less time.
Yeah, because there is all the members in the team are working together for the result. Okay. And one more thing is team player, right? Everybody has to be a team player.
Yes.
Very important. So I should say that's a plus point and a negative point also. Do you agree?
Yes, definitely.
Yeah. So even if one person is has a lot of attitudes in not sharing the system requirements or whatever the work on time, then it will hamper the whole process. So teamwork is very important. It's again, and so these are the advantages and disadvantages in your rapid application development. It is called as rapid application development. You can also see that every member of the team is actually working.
Okay.
Okay, nobody is idle here. No, I mean, and yeah, so why did this come up? Because of the client's community. The client community says that, no, within 6 months, I need this project. Within 10 months, I need my project.
Yes.
Yeah. So 10 months project deliverable is a challenge. Within 10 months, you have to finish it and give it. So for that, this kind of rapid application development came into the picture after Waterfall methodology. The Waterfall methodology was not 100% proof, 100% compliant free. There are complaints in that, a lot of things. But still, then today, a lot of companies follow Waterfall methodology. They like it. They like to play it cool. They like to work, in a cooler environment where everything is, they all know what is going to, they know surprises, right? They expect
Yes.
So they know that. So a lot of companies, yes, definitely they follow the Waterfall methodology in a proper fashion. Now, rapid application development is more a challenging environment where every single person has to work together. Especially for a BA, it is a very challenging job.
Okay.
Now, having said this, now everything is for the client, right? Right. Product is for the client. So now the client thinks that, okay, I think it is getting delivered on after 10 months or 11 months or whatever. Now, even this also, client was not happy.
Okay.
With this process also, the client was not happy. Then a third method came, which is called as iteration and incremental. Incremental process. A lot of companies follow RAD or iterative and incremental process. What is this iterative and incremental process? Now, what we promised the client is that we said After 3 months, after 6 months, after 10 months, we will give you the product. Right? So initially the client is getting involved because BA is getting involved with the client and all that. After that, the client is not there in the picture.
Yes.
Okay. Now, that client community was not happy. They said we need to understand the progress of the project. We have to get involved in the project. So user involvement became more and more. As you can see now, user involvement plays a very important role now. Now the user said that after 3, so if suppose if it is like 10 months project, now in the agreement itself, project agreement itself, you know what they say? After, after 4 months, we'll show you the project. After 4 months, we'll show you the project. And then after 2 months, it gets delivered. Suppose. Now, how do they do it? They release it in chunks. They release it and show it to the client. They have to do it. So what will happen? There will be a release 1.1. There will be a release 1.2 and final release. Okay, like this, the client will. Now the client is also happy. After 4 months, he knows what is happening with this project.
Yes.
Right? Where is the progress? How is it looking? You know, the look and feel also plays a very important role for them, no?
Yes.
So look and feel. Then what is the progress? What is the flow of events? How is it happening or no in the proper fashion? All these things that they observe in the 1.1 release. And of course, how much has to be released? What is the thing? That's all depends upon the project manager. You don't release all the complete project. You cannot do it. Only some portion of the project will be released to the client in version release 1.1. And same thing in 1.2. And then finally they release it. So now the clients are happy.
Okay.
Now what is
I have a question.
advantage? Yeah.
Yeah. During the release of 1.4 and 1.2, can we do like already documentation that in the first meeting that okay, we are going to do this type of releasing on this time, like after 2 months or 3 months, we are going to show only this way. So it's not like okay, a project manager decide at that time. It's already decided before starting of the project. Am I right?
Exactly. Yes.
Okay.
Even in your project planner, it gets defined.
Okay.
Project planner or project charter, whatever they define it there. They say that okay, before we release it in 10 months time, we will show you twice. So 2 releases will happen, and so the point here is that the customer already knows that this company is using iterative and incremental methodology. That's why they do that demand. Or they'll say, no, we want to not rapid application. We want you to work in iterative and incremental kind of an iterative fashion. Iterative means releasing it in chunks, right? Iterative.
Yeah.
So we want you to work in the iterative fashion and give us 2 releases before the final or 1 release before the final. So they decide. Then based on the agreement, yes, no, the project manager will put in all the dates, and it's like it's a big thing for the project manager to manage the whole show when these kind of releases happen. Now, so those advantages are there, right, in this kind of an environment. What do you think the disadvantages are?
You have to be on time.
Release has to happen.
Yes.
So it is not once, it is 3 times now. It is not once, it is 3 times now, right?
Yes, yes.
All the 3 times it has to be on schedule.
Yes.
Now, apart from that, anything else? Now, we are saying that client is getting involved.
Yes.
So if the client is getting involved, do you see any disadvantage in that?
Yeah, the requirements are changing very fast.
Yeah, you showed him one thing. Now he'll say, oh no, 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 I don't think this should look like this. It should be like this. It should be like this. Then again he'll say, oh no, this looks nice. Can we add this? Can we add this now? Can we do like this? Few things we can bring in the adjustments, but not everything, right? We cannot do it. So there you have to be careful enough when you are adopting this kind of methodology, incremental or iterative methodology. Is that clear? Any questions?
No.
Okay, so these are the three different methodologies, which are like, now people, before, there is one more methodology called Agile, which I'll give you an overview. Now before Agile, until very recently, Agile came into the picture very recently. And before Agile, it was all the IT. For a couple of years, it used to follow RAD or iterative incremental. Okay? And some projects still follow Waterfall methodology for the basic reason of the environment, environment. They love it, so they do it. It's like that. Now, but in the RAD, it is a different atmosphere. So there are different things. So whatever the project has been agreed, you have to get into that kind of a methodology and mingle with the team members and try to identify what has to be done, how has to be done. Do they have formats? Do they have templates? Do you use the template to, the development team, if they are used to one kind of format, looking at the requirements, then you have to do the same thing, right?
Yes.
You're capturing the requirements, you better give them in the same format as what they have been looking at. You can't introduce a new one into the picture now at this point.
Yes.
Unless your manager tells you, of course. Okay. So those kind of things you have to get used to. Now, having said this, having talked about these methodologies, there is one another methodology which came into picture, Agile. Okay, Agile. Now, Agile was there from pretty long time. Nothing new. But people started recognizing the Agile environment very recently, I should say 3-4 years back.
Okay.
Okay. So what they said, what Agile says is, I'll give you an example. In this earlier methodologies and all, if you're gathering a requirement, if you're talking to your, suppose there is an internal project. Now what happens in an internal project? You have to go to your internal client. So he's also a client, right, for you?
Yes.
You go to the client, you talk to the client. These things happen in a conference room. You have to book a conference room and then sit with them. Spend about 1 hour or 45 minutes, whatever timing they give. Book the room for that much time, and then everybody is into it, and then we have a workshop. So the whole process has to be followed. Now, what Agile says is, why do that? Let us bring every single stakeholder of that project into one room. So, if you have anything to talk, if you have anything to discuss, just turn around your chair and talk to them.
Okay.
Why go waste your time going to the conference and all that? Okay, that is the concept it follows actually. That's what it says. Okay, so this is just a single small part of it.
Okay.
Okay, so Agile is a vast subject by itself. Agile development has a lot of other development methodologies in it. Agile itself has a lot of other methodologies. I'll show you what it is. I could not open my the other presentation, otherwise I would have shown you. Just like give me a minute, maybe I can.
Okay, no problem.
Yeah, I have that. This is the one I was talking about. When you talk about this is how it looks, the methodology.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
And when it comes to Agile, let me show you. Agile itself has different types. Can you see that?
Yes.
Extreme programming, scrum, crystal family of methodologies, feature-driven method, FTT, adaptive methodologies, then dynamic system development, modules, Agile unified. So these are all some of the things which the Agile says that extreme programming more focuses on programming. These developers do what are they following standards and things like that. They concentrate more on that. Feature driven is more of the features. Okay? Each of them has its own way of working with the industry. But the concept here is, suppose you're going Scrum. So Scrum is also one of the methods, right? You can get certified in Scrum also. You can get certified in Agile also.
Okay.
So I think it's a good idea to get certified in these things, because nowadays everybody is talking about Agile. So it's a PMI kind of a course. Now, what Agile says is, suppose we have a client. He gave us a requirement number 1, or list of requirements. He's given us a list of requirements. Now, looking at the list of requirements, let us bring in every single day in the morning, same time every day. We meet for 15 minutes. Who meets? The development team lead, the design team lead. Okay. Then we have the PA, of course, should be there. The testing team, along with the QA guy, quality assurance guy, will stay. Okay, so like that, our project manager stays. So all these people have to meet every single day morning for 15 minutes and discuss upon what needs to be done today, what has been done yesterday.
Yes.
How much of work has been done yesterday, and how much of work is being pending from yesterday, and how much you are planning for today.
Yes.
Okay, all these things, that means the whole system is transparent. Now everybody knows what the development team is doing. Earlier this was not possible. Now everybody knows where the testing team, what are these testing team guys doing? What are they planning to do? How much are they working on? So are they going to test on this particular feature? If they are testing it, if they finish the testing, then the development team will expect it for bugs, right?
Yes.
So now then based on that, the development team can plan for tomorrow, for the next day. Okay, so like that, this kind of planning can happen. This is called as a Scrum, daily Scrum.
Yeah, I know about this Scrum thing.
Oh, you know it? Okay, fine.
Yeah.
So I won't talk about it then. And should have told me, no?
Yeah.
Okay, so this is the whole idea behind. So there are different methodologies and the processes which the project follows. Okay. Then is one another methodology called RUP. This is called a Unified Processing, Rational Unified Processing. RUP. Now this RUP is a little different concept.
Okay.
Have you heard of RUP?
No.
Now RUP says whatever we talked, right? We said requirement, analysis, design, all these things. They are actually workspaces. Okay, they're actually workspaces. We don't call them as spaces. In our things we call them as phases, right? The traditional way.
Yes.
Now what it says is, let us call the phases as 4 phases. One is incremental. Then we have, what is that? Wait, let me take out the document for you. Inception, elaboration, construction, and transition. Okay, let me show you the document also. 4 things. You already have it here. You can see it on my screen. Inception, elaboration, construction, and transition. Those are the 4 phases. It says. So what it says is, during the inception, it says that it is not just the requirement which we are talking about. The requirement analysis is some of the design, and sometimes what happens, the testing also happens. Small kind of a testing also can be done. So what it says is every phase, which we said phases, right? So every workspace or work, an event gets activated in the inception phase. Then elaboration phase, then construction phase, like that.
Okay.
I'll show you, I think I'll show you the document. Let me very quickly see that. It's coming up. Can you see that now?
Yes.
Are you able to see Rational Unified Process?
Yes, the PDF file is.
This I wanted to show. See here?
Yeah.
The workflows are on the left side, and the graph is raising up, right?
Yes.
During the inception, modeling happens, requirement analysis, testing, implementation, all these things are happening. And in the middle, you have your elaboration. Elaboration, see, at the end of elaboration, basically all the requirement analysis, design, everything has to be freezed because it is going into the construction phase.
Yeah.
That's what we learned, right? Now, the construction, if you can see the yellow graph, the implementation is nothing but coding, writing.
Yes, yes.
Programming. So those implementation graph is like increasing in your construction and then slowly falls down in the last transition. But the transition is actually deployment.
Okay.
So giving away the client, giving away to the client. So he says very clearly that each workflow overlaps with each other. This it should be. You can see every methodology are copied from the previous methodology.
Okay.
You will see, definitely see similarities.
Yeah.
Okay, it does not like away from it. The only thing is in this RUP methodology, they introduced inception, elaboration, construction, and transition. They use those words. Wherein in the earlier methodologies, we never had that chance. We only talked about the requirement, analysis, design, development, those kind of things.
Yes.
Okay. Now, so when you get into an organization as a business analyst, it's not necessary that you will have one of these methodologies. You may not. Probably they are following, they are not following. They might be following their own internal methodologies also, which you should be aware of.
Yes.
As a BA, your most important thing is your documents, the templates, the formats. What kind of formats they're using, how are they using, what is it they're using, all this is very important for you. Do they have a repository where you can store, where these templates are stored? So probably the earlier project, probably you joined this project in between, so there are already documents there. So you have to go through those documents and see where it was left out, at what point do you have to start working on. Okay, so these are the, and the enhancement. The enhancement project means already existing system is there, they are not happy with it and they want to go for new ones. So again, the challenge is to identify the new requirements, try to work with the new requirements, what is going on with the current requirement, what needs to be, what is it that needs to be filled within that gap. So all these things have to be, obviously have to be conversed with the client diagram. Okay. I would say that a system development, system development basically consists of a set of activities, methods, best practices. Okay, activities means the phases.
Okay.
Methods means each phase has its own method, tools, techniques they follow, right? That's deliverables, right? And automated tools. So, for example, BA is using one tool, QA guys are using another set of tools. So, all these things are part of a project only. But ultimately, what should be your game? Your game is to improve the system. Right? That's your aim, right? So, for that, get the system users involved, use a problem-solving approach, establish the phases and activities. So, if you if somebody is leading, then everything is fine. If your manager is leading the whole show, then BA has got very less work there.
Okay.
A lot of managers do that. Okay? They want to do it. They want to, work with it and all that stuff. So, but at that point, the job might also become very boring also for you because the manager is doing everything for you.
Okay.
Yeah. So, but basically document throughout the development another concept, okay? Documenting at every point based on what were given in the earlier project and what is it that they're expecting now. All these things you have to work on those documentations. Okay. Now, what happens is our system, our project, typically this is how it follows. Okay, we talked about the various phases, requirement, analysis, design, all these phases and all that. But typically this is what happens. So you get the scope gets defined. Then you try to understand the current system and try to do the problem solving analysis, problem, what exactly the problem is, let us analyze this. So let us work on this. How much time do we have to finish this project? Okay, how much time do we have to finish this, our circle, the way, the business analyst team works with the users, right? So that all those things are very well defined. So then the requirement analysis, and then logical design we really don't care about it. We only give the information to those guys, right?
Okay.
which is fine. Yeah. So now what we will do is, from here onwards, we will start working on some documents also, like SDD, which I was telling you, scope definition document. And there is one another document which is called vision document, vision definition document. So these kind of documents and all, we will start working on that.
Okay.
Yeah. So we will see how these documents get developed. How they're all subset of, again, project charter only. The most important thing for project planner or SOW or whatever, that is the main thing, because we have the high level requirements already written there by our, either the client or the manager has captured it. So from there, we try to work on the scope of the project. That's how the scope gets. High level requirement is nothing but scope, right? So but it is in the high level. So then, yesterday I was showing you one document, right? So we will use that document to understand what exactly the scope, a scope of a project means.
Okay.
So once we do that, we also need to understand. See, there is one more part to it. So some clients will say, no, we will do the scope of the project and then give it to you.
Okay.
This rarely happens, but say suppose it happened, then how do you react? You basically look at the scope of the project and then you start look at it, try to understand what the document is talking about, what is it about, everything. I mean, you know what I'm saying, right? So yeah. So basically that is what. Now in a scope definition document, in a scope activity, the first one, right? In the scope definition, you basically go through something called a scope management. It's called scope management. Let me do something here. Let me bring this up. While defining the scope, you are actually doing some preliminary investigation with respect to the scope. Okay, what does that mean? It means you're more trying to understand the scope of the project. What is it? Why are you initiating this project? What are the various options that are existing in the project so that we can work with it? So those kind of things become preliminary investigation phase for a given project. Okay, is that clear? Any question?
No.
No, fine, right? You're able to understand.
Yes. Yes.
Okay, are you learning anything new, or you already know these things?
No, I'm learning as part of the IT projects and like that, because I'm not aware of all those classic methodologies and everything. So it's really new for me.
Oh, okay.
The Scrum and everything I just learned because of my wife is a project manager, so she talked about sometimes that okay, they have meetings and everything, so that's why I know. Otherwise, I don't have a deep knowledge about that thing.
Yeah. No, it's a good idea for you to get the Scrum certified.
Okay.
Or Agile certified. I don't know, is she already there? Is she already Scrum certified?
I don't know. No, I know she's not, but because she was a developer and then she promoted as a project manager, but she's not certified.
It helps actually. Even for a business analyst, if you get a certified in Scrum or certified Agile from PMI is an institute. So from there, if you get certified, it's a good idea. And it is an added advantage in your resume actually.
And how it works? Like okay, it's like I have to learn myself and give an exam for the certification, or it's like okay, I have to take a course.
Yeah, you have to take a course from PMI certified organizations. So what they do is they give you the credits, and you have to add the credits and submit your application online based upon your work experience. You have to submit your work online, and then that is application, online filling up his application. You fill it up, and then yeah, that is one part of it. The second part is, of course, studying and passing the exam.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like $450 or something examination.
Mm-hmm.
So it's again an online exam which you have to go to the ProMatrix centers and then write the exams.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay, so so this is the whole story for our scope definition. Now, actually, can I request you something for today?
Yeah.
Can we conclude the session for today if you don't mind?
Yeah, I don't mind. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, because I had a very long day. I'm actually very tired today.
No problem.
Yeah,
No, it's fine. I can understand.
Yeah, and this particular topic which we are talking, which I pulled up today, is actually it's a continuous. At least for half an hour, 45 minutes, I cannot take a break because there's so much of information, so many documentations come up, so much of information has to be shared with you.
Okay.
So if I start it and then stop it after 10 minutes, it doesn't work like that.
Yeah, the flow is not there.
Yeah, it simply doesn't work like that, you know, and so that's the whole